They say, never fall in love with the loan. With players like Jesse Lingard and Martin Odegaard using loan moves to revive their careers and becoming cult heroes for their respective clubs, it's nearly impossible not to love a good loan deal. In the season of transfers, we're using today's video to look at 8 players who used a temporary switch to change their fortunes and become fan favourites. Thibaut Courtois is a brilliant footballer and quite literally the best shot stopper in the world today. The 2022 Champions League final is a proper testament to just how immense the shot stopper is. Bought from Genk for a lump sum of €9 million in 2011, Courtois, like many adventurous Chelsea purchases, would find success elsewhere outside the bridge. This time in Atletico Madrid. Aged only 19 at the time, Courtois arrived at Atletico Madrid when they were in a tussle for the La Liga title, and having never appeared for his parent club and Chelsea's history of handling loan players, he must have worried that his career at the highest level was over before it even began. But with Atletico's immense defensive style, Courtois saw his prowess flourish as he soon became fan favourite at the Calderon. The next season, he performed even better, and in the third season, Courtois was already a seasoned performer, capping up his time in Spain with a La Liga title to his name. From Chelsea protégé to the best goalkeeper in Spain in the space of 3 years, Courtois must have been happy with his progress, and still is today. You never know what you're going to get. And when Manchester United signed Carlos Tevez on loan from West Ham, there was no telling how it turned out. It was relief for fans and the striker when the results were on the great side of the spectrum for both sides. Tevez formed arguably the greatest Premier League attacking trio with Rooney and Ronaldo, with a goal contribution every 2 games for the iconic striker, with Tevez helping the side win their 3rd Champions League title. Though things did not end well between United and Tevez, and he ended up in the blue half of Manchester, Tevez will always remain a player that got away for United fans. If nothing else, Duvan Zapata showed that a player's big break can come at any time. The Colombian's career was on the brink at Napoli in 2013, as he failed to live up to the billing after an €8 million switch from club Estudiantes de La Plata in Argentina. Given just 1,200 minutes in Naples, he was loaned out to Udinese for 2 years, and it was worrying that a striker at 26 was yet to have some stability of sort. Another double-digit season with Sampdoria all but confirmed Zapata's level was mid-table teams. Until Atalanta came knocking with offers for the Colombian, loaning him with an option to buy, Gasperini churned the forward to a supreme forward. He hit 23 league goals and assisted 7 more in his first season at Bergamo, as Atalanta finished 3rd. His next season saw him bag 24 goal involvements in the 2019-2020 season, as he saw his move become permanent. All in all, Zapata has more than doubled his career output during this time at Bergamo. Not quite the Zapata effect, but Loic Remy is another player who turned his fortunes around with an impeccably timed loan move. Not a player who gets an enormous amount of respect in England at least, most likely due to his underwhelming time at Chelsea. But before his time at Chelsea, having lost his place at QPR to relegation, Remy went out on a season-long loan move to Newcastle United. A brilliant strike partner and adept at bringing others into the game, Remy struck up an instant rapport with striker partners Gosling and Gouffran. He scored 14 times in the Premier League in 27 appearances as the Tyneside club began their climb to the top. Remy's time at Newcastle was cut short as Chelsea swooped in for the new starman. Considering very little is said of his time at London, we know how that went. Back in the early 2010s, Chelsea used the loan system to make cheap gambles on prospects and regularly generate profit through their sales. Lukaku was one of those experimental players acquired by Chelsea in 2011 alongside De Bruyne, Bamford and Thibaut Courtois. The Belgian striker managed only 8 appearances in his first season, and aged just 18, he was labelled as a flop and loaned to West Brom. The Baggies were proper trenches for the Belgian, but he absolutely burst into life, netting on his debut in a 3-0 win against Liverpool, and adding 16 more in the league as the club finished 8th. His excellent stint at the Baggies failed to sway Chelsea, and the next season he was again loaned to Everton, where he'd scored 87 goals and assist a further 29 in 166 games. Given his current situation, Lukaku may just have to conjure his hustle at the trenches once again. Blessed with rapid pace and athleticism for days, the teenage Achraf Hakimi was a great prospect for Real Madrid, but he struggled to make an impression in a vast catalogue of Madrid stars. In his first years in Real Madrid, he made just 2 appearances and was loaned to Borussia Dortmund. The Moroccan responded in style, grabbing an impressive 29 goal involvements in 73 games. He was so good that immediately after his loan, Inter Milan swooped in to capture his signature, so confident in his ability that they splashed north of 40 million euros. That's surely impressive for a 22-year-old. He would go on to play 45 games for Inter Milan, winning the Scudetto before his transfer to PSG. Back in 2018, Wolves had just gained promotion to the Premier League, and they set out to recruit a host of players to fit into their system and help them stay unrelegated. One of these players was Raul Jimenez, who'd never clinched double figures in Europe's top flight, so a loan all but seemed perfect. What started as a risk turned out a perfect bargain, as Jimenez scored 20 goal involvements in his first season, and Wolves opted to trigger his permanent transfer. He's gone on to score a respectable 57 goals for Wolves, donning the iconic golden shirt. James Rodriguez is the final name on our list of players with stupendous loan performances. After a blistering World Cup performance where he ended top scorer, James was recruited to join the Los Blancos. Despite a couple of good performances here and there, he couldn't secure a spot in the first team, and a loan spell to Bayern ensued. In Germany, James thrived in. Those were our 10 best loan signings in the last decade. But what do you think? Who would you add to the list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. While you do that, if you're a fan of rising stars, check out 7 transfers this summer that make no sense in this video. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like, slap the subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. We'll catch you next time. Bye.